Good morning, Holmes. During this long night I got little rest. I cannot forget the terrible face on that poor fellow we found last night. And I won't even mention those unfortunate men we encountered purely through bad luck.
You say bad luck, Watson? I think not. Lestrade will have something to say about this point when he arrives. Our dear Mrs. Hudson, she must surely have risen in the middle of the night to prepare such a feast. I presume that you have your notes, Lestrade. Good. Here are mine. You seem to be somewhat tired, my dear Lestrade. You must calm yourself.
Somewhat tired? Holmes, read it for yourself in the Morning Times. It speaks only of crisis, riots, and perhaps even revolution in the streets. The bank's in a panic, froze the entire assets of the Bromsby Company. Now Grimble's unable to pay his workers. They're leaving their work sites, marching in the streets, and even now breaking everything they see.
Good God!
My superiors inform me that in 3 days' time, Bromsby's largest suppliers threaten to stop all deliveries if a solution isn't found. It seems that the future of this city and even more depends on the resolution of this case, and I must admit I'm at a complete loss. My superiors are harassing me hourly. Every day brings some new find to bedevil me, like a corpse in the night or some other mystery that confuses this case even more. And with all of this, you want me to calm myself?
Watson, would you be so kind as to pour a cup of tea for Inspector Lestrade? You see, Lestrade, the dimensions of this case are merely a reflection of the larger faults of our fragile and complicated society. London can be viewed as a game of 4 million dominoes, which are placed one after another, just so. Should some event cause one domino to fall, then another domino shall surely fall as well, and so it will continue. To stop this chain reaction, there is only one alternative. You must remove a domino, and this reaction shall cease. I agree that the sudden spectacle of all of these falling dominoes is most disconcerting. This may lead one to make the reckless decision to remove any domino at hand to try and stop the tide of these events. But it is critical that we concentrate our efforts and reason on only one question. Which domino shall we take away? Or rather, which one are we obliged to take away due to its critical position in the chain of dominoes?
I know, Holmes. My superiors demand a guilty party, and they will have him, no later than the day after tomorrow. It matters little that I doubt his guilt. We discovered certain documents that offer proof that Grimble misappropriated funds for a personal enterprise while he was an associate in India. Sir Bromsby had discovered these improprieties, which gives Grimble an excellent motive to seek Sir Bromsby's death. So I have 2 strong possibilities for the guilty man. But I lack definitive evidence that favors one or the other. My choice is now ruled solely by a number of important presumptions and will have 2 immediate consequences. One of these individuals will obtain ownership rights in the Bromsby Company, and the other will have the executioner's rope. Either way, Holmes, we've identified one of your attackers. If you need me, I'll be at Sherringford Hall tonight.
You have shaken him, Holmes.
Such was my intent. In such a complicated case, the police have their uses. I cannot bear if they start to lose their efficiency and reason. I'm going to get dressed while you study Lestrade's findings.
I must read the documents Holmes gave me.
17th of October, 1897. Welcome everyone to another day in our investigation of the murder of or I should say Sir Melvin Bromsby. I'm glad to be back again. Another day in this mystery, solving this case, and all that sort of fun stuff. I think, based on what I know about this day, this video might be shorter than the others, or it might be long, depending how well I do. So we'll get to see how that turns out for us. I usually go with the side that I end up failing and messing up, just because not anyone is really perfect. But we are back on the case, and we're going to start the day by reading these documents that were given to us. Swindle. Our auditors, who specialize in financial malfeasances, have noted certain irregularities in the books kept for Bromsby Enterprises, and specific, reoccurring, and increasing diversions of monies have occurred. These misappropriations are trifling amounts compared to the scale of these holdings, but nevertheless they are still questionable acts. We suspect that the funds were appropriated by H. Grimble to benefit a small company in India of which he is an owner or shareholder. He may have been preparing for a comfortable and happy retirement there. We sent 2 of our best men to audit the books to discover if there were any additional irregularities. Until now, there were no results, but should our initial findings be confirmed, Mr. Grimble can say farewell to his position at Bromsby Enterprises and to any related claim to succession. When I first interviewed Mr. Grimble, we had not yet established these facts, so we did not question him on the points. We did take note that on the night that Mr. H. Fallett was murdered, Mr. Grimble claimed he spent the entire evening at his residence. Since Mr. Grimble is not married and is the only resident of his mansion, we have found no one to confirm his statement. Mr. Grimble was familiar with Mr. Fallett in his house, as he visited there several times with Sir Bromsby. The documents discovered at Mr. Fallett's home proved that he had been informed by Sir Bromsby of Grimble's financial misappropriations. Here's another item of singular curiosity. Mr. Grimble and Mr. Fallett were quite similar in appearance. 1J, I think. Is it 1J? I'm just gonna say J. Report by the Inspector Lestrade, 17th of October, 1897. The aggressor, Asian by birth, was identified as Wang Jie. I think that's how you say that. He is well known in certain undesirable districts and along the docks of the Thames. Jie was regularly involved in brawls, primarily scuffles with Ponces? Whatever. He was sentenced in 3 occasions for small crimes. According to the authorities from the police station near the docks, he was a debt collector for a local criminal band. But for some time, he had also been officially employed as the first fire thrower in a cabaret act that had been booked at the old Fairfax Theater when it was still open. We haven't gained the upper hand yet. Alright, so he was employed at Fairfax Theater. Okay, report by Inspector Lestrade, 17th of October, 1897. With the assistance of official contacts, I managed to gather some elements from the file of Lieutenant Harrington, which is contest the testimony of the latter. Indeed, though he brilliantly performed at the officers' schools and received the top honors in every discipline, he was also punished from time to time for a lack of proper respect towards the rules and authority. Thus, he found himself assigned to a penal battalion in India. While stationed there, despite his brave acts, he incurred the wrath of the military hierarchy because of his behavior as a daredevil. His file indicates that he rashly decided to resign his commission in the active military to join the reserve forces. He then left India to go to South Africa. No doubt the court will be hard-pressed to believe the testimony of a man whose passion gains the upper hand over his reason. Interesting.
The devil, this mystery darkens.
This investigation provides us with a new corpse every day. Come, Watson, you can read that later.
It looks like we are in the midst of the Bromsby workers' demonstration.
Here we are, Watson, 29 Strokes Alley.
Hold on. Okay, so we got another...
By Jove, if it isn't Sherlock Holmes.
Hello, Appleby. You're always nearby when there's a whiff of gunpowder in the air, aren't you?
Of course, Mr. Holmes. But what are you doing here? Aren't you working with Inspector Lestrade on the Bromsby investigation?
Yeah, we'll finish questioning him.
Appleby, I have every reason to believe that the murder of Hunter directly relates to that very case. May I ask you to tell me what you know, and then give me leave to examine the scene?
Of course, Mr. Holmes.
What are the facts?
Last night, between 9 and 9:15, a fellow came for me. I was at the pub, which lies a bit further down the lane. He told me that there was the sound of a shot from this bungalow. When we got here, the door was locked. After the landlady got her key, I opened the door. There I saw the dead man lying on the floor. And here we are.
What did you do next?
Well, Inspector Gregson is in charge of the case. He's due to arrive today to start the official investigation. At least they've removed the body.
Do you have any further details about his death?
He was killed by a bullet right through his heart. There was just one shot. At first glance, it appears to have been a small caliber weapon. His landlady told me that he was a common fellow with nothing to remark about, no friends to speak of, not even a lady friend.
A lonely soul.
He has been staying here for 2 years. The landlady told me he spent most of his time with this flower garden. Indeed, I can't believe that somebody could murder a man because of his hydrangeas.
Who has been inside?
Only myself and my assistant to help with the removal of the body. The landlady made her identification of the man after he was removed and then left for her sisters.
Have you found anything in the room that points to the murderer?
For the moment, no. When I entered the first time, the window facing the street was open. I closed it and secured the shutters as well. It is possible to expect anything with those demonstrators in the streets. Does this advance the investigation of the Bromsby case?
If you could wait for me here, Watson. Could you open the room for me now, Appleby?
All right, now I missed out on reading this before walking through this, so we're going to read this now. The Limes. Mysterious drama in London. Last night at about 9 o'clock at 29 Strokes Alley, Miss Linford, a peaceful landlady from the Soho district, heard dreadful sounds coming from one of her bungalows. Overcoming her fear, she asked one of her tenants to call for the police. The first officer of the night's watch, Sergeant Appleby, found the body of the tenant, a barman from Hartford Agency named Simon Hunter, dead from a revolver shot. The evidence reveals no motive for his murder, as the young man had neither any valuables nor any impetuous private life. It's basically everything we just learned. Okay. Let's look at this blood first.
It's a trace of human blood.
Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Sorry, I had to say it once. I had to say it once in the game. Just once.
Strange sketches. This is brand new. This is brand new.
We gotta use measuring tape on this because I think this is a footstep.
This footstep is incomplete. It is larger than a size 8, but smaller than a 12. Someone used this window to leave.
So it's probably a 10. Because the last time we saw someone try to use a window to leave, it was a 10. That's just my presumption. I have no real way of knowing for certain. Okay, let's see. I just want to check one more thing. Sorry. I have alarms throughout the day. Kind of keep me on track. Yeah, I already kind of found everything. So we'll head out to the greenhouse.
Thank you, Appleby. I have learnt nothing conclusive. Tell me, Watson, would you mind strolling in the garden to wait for Gregson?
Okay, so now we gotta investigate the greenhouse.
Nothing of any interest here. Nothing of any interest here. Some of these flowers are not from England.
Oh, yeah, back up. I keep forgetting that that's how you get back out.
What in the name of reason are you looking for, Holmes?
What a curious small flower. Several bills for the sum of £21. Watson, we need to secure the item that was pawned under this ticket with all due haste. Could you take care of it? We shall meet this evening at Sherringford Hall.
All right, Holmes.
Let us return to Baker Street.
Okay, so I think we were specifically looking for this flower because that's what he was painting. So I think that was kind of the clue to help us find that. We're gonna read this receipt first. Pawn shop received 1 golden exotic jewel, 2 days. Okay. If my memory serves me correct, I think the pawned item was one of the silver earrings, but it was a golden jewel. I don't know, we'll go back to Baker Street.
We must learn the identity of the dead man discovered in the cement factory. Let's examine his belongings. A bottle of liqueur from the Richmond Abbey. I must have a book that speaks about this abbey. Richmond's Abbey. I believe it was built in the 15th century to house an order of Anglican monks. It should surely be there. Let's visit this place, but in disguise. Let's see if this place is located on the map.
Richmond's Abbey, 15th century building, cluster of an order of Anglican monks, large national forest. Oh, that's all? Okay. Man, look at that disguise. Wouldn't even recognize him. Next stop, Richmond's Abbey.
Yes, my son?
I am sorry to disturb you, brother, but, well, you see, I have a matter of great importance which led me here, and I'm certain that you may be of help. Well, I am looking for my brother. Not a brother like yourself, but rather my brother by birth. He might have joined the order, but I think it is unlikely. You see, he has not always chosen the right path in life. I recently learned that he had had some troubles, and I have been frantic to find him. One of his acquaintances told me that my brother had spoken of Richmond's Abbey. My brother's name is James Little. Perhaps you know of him? If I ask you some questions, would it trouble you? It would at the least help me to learn whether he is here. He is unaware, but recently we received a small inheritance. I think if he were told of this, it would ease his mind and help him put these troubles behind him. This forest is most impressive.
It is very large. If someone were to hide in there, it would be most difficult to find them.
How convenient. Sorry.
The Abbey produces a fine liquor, doesn't it?
Yes, we distill a liquor that contains medicinal herbs. It does allow us a small income, but it also can attract certain rascals. That's why we are mindful of inquisitive strangers.
Have there been any burglaries?
Oh, we do get the occasional tramp. They sometimes seek shelter in the old ruins that lie in the midst of the forest. They have been known to trespass into our sacred cloister, seeking some sustenance. At least, that is always their tale upon discovery. But it is only the liquor that goes missing.
Do you know the way to these ruins?
Many paths lead there. If you are prepared for a walk, you may take the path that lies 30 meters in that direction.
Thank you very much, I mean brother. I would not at all be surprised if my brother is discovered to be the architect of your recent thefts, as he may well be hiding within the forest ruins. Sadly, for some time now, he has suffered from an addiction to strong drink. Please allow me to indemnify these losses on my brother's behalf. I am afraid it will have to come from his share of the inheritance. Goodbye.
Good luck, my brother.
You know, Sherlock is really good at, like, playing a character. It's one of the things about him I've always thought was really cool.
Not very engaging.
Alright, now this might be where I might mess up. So, hold on. Actually, let me do this. Trying to make sure I don't forget this. There must be a dead end. Now we need to remember how we get back to the pond.
What can it be?
Can't remember if I'm supposed to pick up a bucket.
Is it near there?
I think it's this way. I think we need to pick this up when we come back this way. This might not be the right way.
I smell smoke.
Yep, we're going the right way now.
If I am to find any evidence, I must put out this fire immediately.
Alright, we gotta go. This is where... Sherlock, you need to be running now. Okay, then we came this way. We're gonna pick this up.
And now, quickly, I must find some water.
Remember that pond that we passed by? That's where we're going next. We gotta go here. We're almost there. Fill that sucker up. Alright. I gotta head back. You know, for being the first time I did this, I totally forgot, like, the first time. But this time I was making sure I was tracking where I was going. A part of me thinks I might be taking the long way. But we should still be able to get there in time. Run, Sherlock, run. Dude, I'd be hauling ass. He's just doing a light jog. And we made it. Sweet.
My word, I can't see anything.
Well, that's why we have matchboxes, my good man.
Ah, now I see better. I need something.
Okay, use the hourglass. Not the hourglass, the
This is English.
magnifying glass.
It is not English, and it fell on the floor maybe 2-3 days ago. All these papers were gathered and burned. I need to find evidence somewhere else. A bottle of liqueur from the Richmond Abbey.
Then we need to measure this footprint.
Footsteps, size 10.
Okay, I see. So this must have been the same footstep that was at Hunter's place. So whoever's this footstep is probably the person that killed Hunter and killed Horace Fowlett, because we saw it outside his window as well. Maybe use this knife to get
I
this.
was positive. It moves. Very interesting. These letters are faded and illegible. These letters are faded and illegible. These letters are faded and illegible.
Okay, I was just making sure.
This ink is not made in England.
Alright, let's see. A letter from an alcoholic. I have always tried to avoid boredom in any possible way. First, it was just a few rounds with my fellows and the alcohol all the time. Read them hundreds of times. Enough. My story is worth as much as another story. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing. I was ruined and misunderstood. This swine enjoyed success in his life because of my mother's money, but half of this money held by him must be given back to me according to all that is right. Absolutely, Your Honor, half, and I wasn't going to let myself so easy when you are far away and when you dream owing to him I'd be able to ne'er more to this cursed foul continent. Shades of the devil, I was told about it at school when I was quite small. Shades of the devil. Yes, certainly, they are demons. They whisper sweet words into your ear. They listen to you and make promises to you. They say they will help you when you are down, but no. They help you to rise only so they can lead you to hell. They lifted me one under each arm, but when I was bade them cease in the midst of their prattle, I then heard the sound of their demon wings. Demons. Haven't done this on purpose, I swear. I'm sure he knew, but why? Why have money? It is certain, Your Honor. They... I think this is the same, written, like, handwriting as the threatening letters that we found earlier. I'm about, like, 99% sure. Okay, I think we need to check the mattress.
Someone has slept here. Someone has slept here. Someone has slept here.
Okay, just making sure that we're not missing anything before we go all the way back. Alright, I am going to save, just in case if I go all the way back and find out that, that I missed something. Making me do all this walking. Sure I can't just do it from here? No. It's annoying. Most of the video is just me running in the woods. I'll just take this quick second while we're running the woods to say thank you guys for sticking with me with this walkthrough. I know this one's a shorter one, and I should have been done with this a lot sooner than I have been. I'm still got maybe this video and then one other one to get done with the entire walkthrough. And I know I already played this on streams and all that, and I don't know when's the next time I'll be doing a Sherlock Holmes game, but thank you for sticking with me. I'm still trying to like get a consistent schedule so I can upload consistently for you guys and kind of have a plan of what I'm going to do with the other walkthroughs on my channel. I still have to finish like relabeling and naming a lot of different old videos I have and stuff like that. So it's all a work in progress, but I really, 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 really appreciate all the viewers, everybody just coming along with the journey. We just recently got to 100 subscribers. I don't think during this walkthrough, but the previous one, and we're still growing faster than I have in the past 4 years before I got into making more and more content on the regular. So thank you so much, everyone, and I know I'm going to end up saying thank you again, but I just want to say I really do appreciate all you guys sticking through it with me and joining me as we enjoy some of these old games and some of our favorite games of all time. Sherlock Holmes is one of the games I recently picked up, mostly because I played Crimes and Punishment, so this is really me kind of going back and seeing where Crimes and Punishment started and stuff like that, so it's been a blast. So once again, thank you for watching, guys. I just want to give a quick thank you when we had a moment. So, now that we're back here, the map should open up to us and we can head back to Richmond. Not Richmond's Abbey, but Baker Street.
Let us return to Sherringford Hall.
Just to change. I guess that makes sense.
Oh, Dr. Watson, beg pardon for imposing on you, but I must get a message to Inspector Lestrade, and he is just inside, and I am sure that he would be most eager to assist you. No, it would be better if he would hear this from you rather than myself. The present situation requires me to be elsewhere. Please be good enough to tell Inspector Lestrade that I renounce any rights to the succession. Also, I will not be at my offices. I would not wish him to waste time looking for me there. Goodbye, and I thank you for your kind assistance, Dr. Watson.
I was upstairs and I could have sworn I just saw that blasted scoundrel Grimble through the window.
Yes, you are right. But you have no chance of catching him now. He has run away as if the very devil himself were after him.
It is not the devil that's after him, but myself. He would fare better if it were the devil on his trail.
He gave me a message for you, Lestrade. He said he renounces any rights to the succession.
What do you say? This is astonishing news. This will not prevent me from finding him. I want to know how it so happens that a dead man is found in a building to which only Grimble is known to possess the keys. By the way, where is our great detective? Oh, here he comes now.
Hello, gentlemen. What were you discussing?
Grimble has renounced all possible rights to the succession of Bromsby Enterprises.
But that does nothing to alter the fact that he is the ideal guilty party. Sir Bromsby had very important news that he intended to announce on the day of his death. What if this surprise news was the ouster of Grimble and Bromsby's intent to name his own daughter to succeed him? Do you think something otherwise, Holmes?
No, it is nothing. May I ask you a question, Lestrade? Would it be possible to keep this new information about Grimble from Miss Bromsby, but for a few days?
It's a deuced odd request, but I presume that you must have your reasons. I will do my best to keep this information private till the day after tomorrow.
Thank you, Lestrade. By the way, I would like to speak with Miss Bromsby. Where can I find her?
I do believe she's with her faithful knight in her sitting room. This gentleman never, so to speak, leaves her side. If this story spares them any further pain, no doubt they will soon be renowned as the most beautiful couple in London. I am trying not to think about it, but my heart feels heavy that I may have been an instrument of their sorrow.
By the way, my brother Mycroft has answered one of my letters, and his information seems to be most interesting. You can look at it if you would like. I have had a copy made for you.
Alright, that's exactly what we're going to read. Caladessa Abyss. Dear Sherlock, so this is from his brother. Dear Sherlock, with time of essence, here is the information I managed to gather. WG Company was founded by Joseph Grimble and his partner Raymond Waters. The majority of the capital was provided by Waters, who was the son of a wealthy ship owner. When J. Grimble died in 1886, his shares passed accordingly to his will to his partner, Mr. Waters. The business of the Caladessa Abyss is one that we, as a British people, are loath to remember. In the entire history of colonization, we have played falsely with the image we claim for ourselves. The truth of this murky business is still protected by the military authorities, so I possess but a small portion of the facts in this matter. Because of the Caladessa Abyss, the supply convoys of the garrisons from the northwest of Bombay had to make long detours. A decision was reattached to construct a bridge over the abyss. The construction was entrusted to a contractor who enjoyed strong support within the military echelons, a Mr. Melvin Bromsby. Bromsby committed to perform this task in the time frame that many specialists considered extremely ambitious, given the difficulties associated with the location and other practicalities. The abyss was situated in the middle of the jungle, located in a distant and isolated place. A battalion was assigned to assure the security of the construction efforts that would take several months. One of the officers from the battalion was Captain Lowry. From the beginning, nothing went right with the project. They talk of how poor the soil proved to be and the reoccurring accidents. The remains from ritual sacrifices were found at the bottom of the abyss, which caused fear in the superstitions Hindu workers. There was also the presence of a man-eating tiger nearby and other exotic mysteries. Thus, in the next few weeks, the construction suffered considerable delays. At the start of the second month, the officers in charge of the battalion asked to be retained in the role of supervision, regardless of their personal hardships with this assignment. The command in Bombay supported their request, as it was a great opportunity to economize on the costs of construction, which were considerable. Then the officers asked for men from the nearby villages and the towns to straighten the teams on site. Soldiers following the convoys complained that large barriers barred their view of the site and prevented assessment of its progress. They were also denied passage beyond the enclosures. They further noted that although they brought workers to the site, they had never escorted any from the place and back to their homes. They're also deeply concerned that they could identify the source of an unbearable foul stench from surrounding the worksite. Some people claimed that they had fallen ill merely from breathing the smoke from some invisible fire that came from the impenetrable mound. The construction was eventually completed or near schedule, but an inconceivable number of Indian families still do not know what happened to their husband, father, son, or brother. They left one day to build this bridge, never to be seen nor heard from again. One of the officers, Captain Lowry, tried to reveal the truth that everyone preferred to be left unknown. He was abandoned by his superiors and his comrades. He wanted to leave Bombay and applied for the pass of a principal at a penitentiary in Italy. It occurs frequently with non-commissioned officers, as there's no better director than a former officer of the British Army. Everybody knows it and is envious of it, but the army refused to grant him leave. They threatened him with charges of desertion if he left the Indian territory. They must have been afraid that one day he would reach England and then find attentive ears from a story which must not be told. He died ill and alone. Here is a strange request for a soldier of the British Army. He asked to be cremated in an Indian matter. This last request was in fact refused by the army. All of his property was bequeathed to the military orphanage Brahmi in Bombay, in hopes that this information shall prove helpful. Good luck. So my guess is Captain Lowry is not actually dead. And I never really caught this when I first played this. In fact, I'm hoping to actually catch it this time with how Captain Lowry technically connects this, which I have a good idea. I've always assumed, but I never heard it directly. So you can kind of piece together what's going on here. We have the Frenchman, who was disguised. Who obviously was a disguised person, I think. And I think his footprints was 7. And we can kind of tell that he's kind of suspicious all around. We have the person who has 10-inch feet, who was in the Abbey. And I'm guessing that is Bromsby's nephew. And then we have this suspicious captain character who has a valid reason to be upset with Bronsby with how they did Calabasas Bridge. So we're starting to see pieces of different kinds of people put together, you know? And it's up to us to decide who's really responsible and who's really to blame, I guess. Is kind of what the game is trying to set us on the path of. But it's given us a bunch of little nuggets of information to help piece this together behind the scenes, kind of like how Sherlock would, and that's why this game is so good. Alright. Now, we shall head to the ladies' powder room.
I hear laughter coming from the powder room.
Good afternoon, Mr. Holmes. James has just been showing me the photographs from his hunts.
Oh, but I wasn't the only hunter.
My respects, Miss Bromsby. Hello, Lieutenant. If I could have a look... I must say, this is quite a handsome specimen, but it is surprising how light it appears.
That bull weighed near 1,000 stones.
No, beg pardon. I was referring to your portfolio.
That is but another souvenir of my travels to Africa.
I came here specifically to inform you that everything goes well with the case, Miss Bromsby. But I need to ask you a question of a more personal nature. If the Lieutenant would be so gallant as to give us a moment of privacy.
Your servant, Mr. Holmes. I will retire to the smoking room.
I should reveal one of my hints.
Okay, and the hint that we need to reveal is this photo of a pretty young girl that we found right here originally.
Does this photograph belong to you?
Yes, it's mine. This is the photo of an actress who was with a touring London company. They gave a performance at the town near my boarding school in Switzerland. This is Miss Davenport. She was kind enough to meet with us in her dressing room after the show.
And how would you describe this actress?
Oh, she was fascinating, on the stage and in life as well. She personally inscribed this likeness for me. You see, they were available for purchase during the intermission. She was so very beautiful.
Pray, continue.
When I met with her, she showed me this beautiful earring that she wore. It was in the shape of a wave with foam, made entirely of sparkling stones. It's strange, but I have never talked about this with anyone till now. I do hope I see her again someday.
Perhaps. Now, listen to me, my dear child. I must ask you to speak to no one about our conversation, not under any circumstances. The discovery of the truth rests on your silence. I've got to go now.
I understand.
This lieutenant seems a very commendable person. Miss Lavinia is fortunate to have him near. Lestrade was saying that he has found more evidence of Grimble's trail. The corpse we found at the cement factory may well have been an accomplice and the true murderer of Sir Bromsby. Grimble could have easily obtained an invitation for him to the reception. Then, some time after the deed was done, Grimble eliminated his accomplice to prevent his speaking. Or perhaps not. Whatever are you musing about, Holmes? Holmes?
What is it, Watson?
Blast it, Holmes! You haven't heard a word that I have said.
It is of no consequence. Tell me, have you had the opportunity to redeem the item with the receipt we found at Hunter's?
Oh, yes, it was a simple matter. In order to get the best price, Hunter agreed to redeem the item within 2 days' time. Look, these appear to be real diamonds.
It seems to me that we have gathered all of the key elements, Watson. However, before we retire, let's summarize our findings. The questions should be answered yes or no and justified by the evidence or testimony received during the investigation.
All right, you know how this goes.
We must have made a...
Oh, sorry. No, I was actually just trying to save. Sorry. You know how this goes. We are going to attempt this
should be...
on our own, just once, to see if, like, I can piece it together. Finally, you know, the first time I did this was a lot different now, especially now I kind of understand how the game works and what details really to look for. So we're going to try doing this without looking at the guide that I have in front of me, and then after one attempt, if we don't get it all right, then we will just use the guide. Okay, question 1. Was the leader of the thugs who attacked Holmes directly connected to the case? Yes. Oh, sorry. No. Yes, because he's directly connected to the case because he was a performer for the Fairfax Theater, as it says in this document. That one's pretty easy. Question 2. Can we say that the person who killed Simon Hunter is skilled with weapons? Yes. Because, based on our conversation with Appleby, he told us he was shot directly in the heart. Are the ruins near Richmond's Abbey a common haunt for wanderers? Yes. And we know that based on what the brother told us at Richmond Abbey. He says that many people wander into there, basically to stay and to avoid people and to try to steal things from them. These questions are pretty easy so far. Can the handwriting on the message found in the ruins be the same as that on a previous document? Yes, and I kind of mentioned this earlier. So, first off, let's see, where's the first one? Melvin, you must pay W. And this is why I think the person in there, in the ruins, was Wyatt, because of this W right here. And you see that Y, kind of how the Y is? Well, if we go down to Letter from an Alcoholic, let's see, I saw another Y in here that looked like that. Yes, right here. So that's why I think this is by Wyatt Collins. He shows, it seems like he has a connection to Bronsby via his own mother. He's his nephew. And I think he is upset by the fact that his uncle got all the money and he didn't. So yes, I think it's the same person. So that tells me that wherever we found 10-inch feet, it was Wyatt, because we found 10-inch feet there. Is it easy for a retired English officer to find work as a prison warden abroad? Yes. And we know that from this because his brother, Mycroft, I think is how he says his name, talks about how it is an honorable thing to do, and it's actually something most people are jealous of because of how easy you can get a job as a prison warden. Alright, that seems to be all the questions. We kind of went through that fast. It seems like today was a lot easier, honestly. I'm pretty confident in all these answers. So if we get it, that will be a first. I'd even check the guide, which is pretty sweet. But I have played this before, so I mean, what's that really say? Like, this is the first time I've ever done this. So just to review, was the leader of the thugs who attacked Holmes directly connected to the case? Yes. And this document talks about how he used to work in the Fairfax Theater, so that's how he's connected. Can we say that the person who's killed Simon Hunter is skilled with weapons? Yes. Appleby talked about how he got shot directly in the heart, so he knows how to use weapons, where to shoot him exactly. Are the ruins near Richmond's Abbey a common haunt for wanderers? Yes. The brother talked about how people often use the ruins to hide out from places. Can the handwriting on the message found in the ruins be the same as that on a previous document? Yes. The threat we found in Gribble's office is the same on the letter of the alcoholic we found in the ruins. Is it easy for a retired English officer to find work as a prison warden abroad? Yes, according to Holmes's brother in this document about the Kalidasa Abyss, it is. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty confident about this, but there's still always a chance I could get one wrong. So if we get this right, I just want to say thank you for watching the video. Thanks for sticking with me for this walkthrough. I already kind of said a lot of this already earlier in the video, but I will say it once again because I cannot express how much gratitude I have for all you guys who watch my videos and stick along with me through these journeys, through these great games. We're finishing up day 4, about to move on to the last day, I believe. Day 5, because I think there's only 5 days. It's getting really exciting. You know, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this investigation. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys sticking with me. Be sure to hit that like button. Check out the next part of this video and the previous parts if you haven't checked those out for some reason. But also, just appreciate you coming by and hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya.
We must have made an error. Watson.
Ah, darn
Let's
it.
check our answers. The questions should be answered yes or no and justified by the evidence or testimony received during the investigation.
Alright, let's see what I got wrong. I'm kind of surprised. Alright, question 1. Was the lead of the thugs who attacked Holmes directly connected to the case? The correct answer is yes. The Wing Jung document? Yeah. No, that's right. I got that one right. Question 2. Can we say a person who stole weapons? Yes. Dialogue with Appleby at Hunter's house. Are the ruins near Richmond's Abbey a common haunt for wanderers? Yes. Brother Richmond Abbey, got that. Handwriting message found in the ruins be the same as the previous document. Yes. Threat W and threat WC. Oh, okay, so it was asking for separate documents. It wasn't asking for the letter that we found because it's already referring to that. I see. Okay, yep. So the other one would be threat WC. And if we want to look at WC, don't be stupid, Grimble, except, yep, there's the A, accept my conditions, unless you do assure it, I will tell you everything I know at your shot, Sherringford Hall. So yeah, Wyatt Collins is the alcoholic. He has to be. Alright, I can see how I messed that up. See, see? I was pretty confident. I had the right thing in mind. I wasn't technically entirely wrong. I just kind of misunderstood. It was asking for 2 examples, not just what to compare it to. Alright, question 5. Is it easy for a retired English officer to find work as a prison warden abroad? I said yes, with the Calidus Abyss. Oh, sorry for that audio issue. Calidus Abyss letter. So once again, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want more of this stuff. More mystery games, more Sherlock Holmes, or anything else you see that I do on my channel. I much appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.
It is simplicity itself, Watson. We have answered all the questions.